Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us today on our webcast. Big announcement last week. We're going to be talking about Canadian Western Bank. The announcement what came in from National Bank, who has decided to acquire the Canadian Western Bank.
Yeah,
So that's
they
exciting.
yeah, they sure are. Well, we should explain why it's exciting because the clients all own it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we looked at it back a couple of years ago
Yep.
and made a purchase because the market was down 40%. So we ended up getting a pretty good price.
Yeah, we
I think it
sure
was
did.
about 2024.
24
Yeah.
and just under $24 a share. And since then we've collected about $2.33 in dividends.
Yep.
And at the time we liked it because it was contrarian. It was very much out of favor, but we liked the fact that not only did it trade below book value, but Canadian Western is different than the other big banks. They mostly specialize in commercial lending. And
Hmm.
as its name implies, they are focused on Western Canada, namely
Which
British,
is, go, sorry.
no, namely British Columbia and Alberta. That's
Right. I was just going to say their commercial lending section um, complements National Bank, who is, facilitates wealth management, capital markets, and lending.
yeah,
So it kind of fits really well.
yeah,
It'll fit
and
nicely.
National Bank is half Quebec.
Right.
So geographically, it makes perfect sense for National Bank. And they're buying this at a time when their stock price is trading at a much higher valuation than it historically has traded.
Hmm.
So the way they're buying this is they're doing a share swap. So for every one share of Canadian Western Bank that you own, you'll receive 0.45 shares of the National Bank. You want to figure out how much that is, you just multiply the National Bank stock price by 45%.
Hmm.
If you do that today, you'll see that Canadian Western's trading at a double-digit discount to what we will receive if this deal is approved.
Right. And to get that approval is going to take a little bit of time. We're looking at maybe 2025.
Yeah.
And they have to go through a few different bodies to get there. There's the OFSI, the
Yep.
Federal Finance Minister and Competition Bureau.
Yep. Those are the
So
three.
it's going to take some time.
Yeah, so that explains why it's at the discount. There's uncertainty if the regulators will approve the deal. Plus, it's not until the end of 2025. But because
Right.
they're doing a share swap instead of offering a fixed price per share, the Canadian Western Bank shareholders will participate in any upside that the National Bank stock receives in the market.
Nice perk. Hmm.
Yeah, well, National Bank stock has done much better than its Canadian peers, not just the last year, but the last 5 years. So,
Yeah, and also in the likelihood, like we've seen in the past, Jeff, we've seen other bank acquisitions like Royal Bank acquiring HSBC, and that was approved.
yeah,
So the likelihood of this happening is probably pretty good.
yeah, that's the best
Yeah,
precedent to cite for sure. And
right.
what was interesting too is that about a year or so ago, Laurentian Bank undertook a strategic review, and I was sure someone would buy them, but nobody
Hmm.
did. And um, I guess to see Canadian Western get the bid, that was I mean, at the time when Laurentian
It's
Bank
huge.
was in the news, I just thought, why would anyone want to buy Laurentian when you can buy Canadian Western? It's, of the two regionals, Canadian Western is the stronger one,
Right.
without question. So, so we're gonna hold on to the stock because, as we say, it's still trading at as of Friday, using Friday numbers, it was trading at about a 12% discount to what we should receive if the deal were closed today. So that 12% will narrow over time. And while we wait, we're still collecting the Canadian Western Bank dividend. But if that spread were to narrow, we might rethink that. But
Hmm.
right now, it's you know, I don't see a reason to sell it.
Yeah.
So, anyways, it's a good deal. It makes sense for National Bank without question. And as shareholders, we're happy.
Very happy.
Yeah. So yeah. Oh, one last thing. The valuation they're paying. So they're the line in the sand on banks is its book value. If you can find a bank that trades below book value, that's a very attractive price. And that was one of the reasons we bought Canadian Western to begin with. It was trading at about, I believe it was about a 20 to 25% discount to book value.
Mhm.
National Bank is paying 1.3 times book for the Canadian Western, and that's the same valuation that the other big five banks are trading for. So
Yeah.
in today's environment, I think it's probably a fair price. And hey, the stock price went up 65% the day after this thing was announced. So depending on
Yeah.
when you got into the stock, you should be happy, but we certainly are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks very much.
Okay, thank you.
Talk to you soon.